Yo, welcome to Urban Gameplay Gaming Countdown. It's Matt Pepper, counting down the hottest games.
Yo, what's good game world? It's that time where we drop yet again another countdown video, and for this gaming countdown video we're going to take a look at my top 10 movie based video games of all time. So with that being said, I know with licensed games they kind of generally have a well-deserved reputation for being pretty bad, but I personally don't think it's as bad as video games making a transition to the big screen. There are loads of great video games which have come from movie backgrounds which allow us movie and game fanatics the chance to relive some of the classic moments in some of the movies. For me, the 10 games that I picked have the fondest gaming memories for me, so I have kind of gone with nostalgia and also movies that I personally enjoyed watching. I didn't include any Lego games in this list as I thought they act more as a parody of movies, but nonetheless they still did a great job. Also, one game per franchise does exist in this list, so I'm not going to be listing out multiple games from a franchise. And as always, games that I personally find as great pickups, so do feel free to drop in the comments below what games I've missed off the list or what games you think should have been added. Anyway peeps, no more chit chat, let's get down to business and speed through my top 10 movie based video games of all time.
Number 10.
Yo, Enter the Matrix. Personally, I saw quite a fair bit of harsh criticism of this title, but I would say that it was actually a pretty fun game for me personally. As a major fan of the Matrix movies, I thought this game did a decent enough job to satisfy me, and how challenging the agents were in the game just made you feel the intensity of the game. All in all, in terms of a transition from a classic movie to a video game, I feel that Enter the Matrix did a decent enough job, and I definitely even want to go back and play this game from time to time because it does jog quite a few decent memories that I had whilst playing it. So definitely couldn't leave this game off the list.
Number 9.
In terms of licensed games which done a terrific job of transitioning from movies to video games, you have to speak about Aladdin on the Super Nintendo. This game captured the true essence and the magical adventure of the beloved Disney classic, and for me, when I first played this game on the Super Nintendo, I just couldn't put the game down. A real gem and a worthy title to be on this list.
Number 8.
When you talk about great PlayStation 3 games, then you have to speak about The Godfather, and also when you talk about the greatest gangster movie of all time, then you also have to speak about The Godfather. The game is phenomenal, just the concept is superb and does make you feel like a gangster whilst playing. All I'm gonna say is if you're a fan of the movie and you haven't played this game, then you've absolutely missed out on a classic.
Number 7.
Now, when Chronicle of Riddick first dropped on the Xbox, I was pretty skeptical as whether I was going to buy the game or not because I didn't really want to ruin my appreciation for the film. I really did adore the film, and I know that obviously playing a terrible game based off the movie wouldn't have gone down, but trust me, when I first played the game I was gobsmacked how well they pulled this game off. At the time of its launch, the graphics were simply superb and was such a superb action adventure game to play at the time. I'm sure I can go back and play this game today and have a great time. This game definitely had to be on my list.
Number 6.
Now, the PlayStation 2 was such a phenomenal console that housed so many classic video games, and Lord of the Rings The Two Towers was no exception. I know this game dropped on a few consoles, but I had it on the PlayStation 2 and it was simply superb. Now, if you're into the Lord of the Rings movies, then given how awesome the movies are, you would be quite apprehensive on whether you want to buy the video game version or not, but trust me, this game delivered on so many fronts and does the franchise justice in my opinion.
Number 5.
Now let's be real, there's no way on earth I could have left off the N64 masterpiece Goldeneye off this list. I'm using footage of the Wii version as my capture card was playing up, but anyway, I know that this game is not high up on the list for so many people, but the reason being is I probably loved the game before I actually liked watching the movie, and only because playing the game is why I really appreciate watching the movie today. I know that sounds crazy, but definitely I couldn't justify placing this game higher up the list just because I'm not really the biggest fan of Goldeneye the movie. In saying that, the game does a fantastic job in recreating the movie in fine style, and this is definitely as one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. It just had to be on the list, and definitely a worthy game that's obviously made the transition from a movie.
Number 4.
Now, Ghostbusters the video game is a great example of reliving the classic movie inside a video game. Such a superb title that contains so many references to the first two Ghostbusters movies, as well as tying everything up. I'm a major fan of the Ghostbusters from childhood, but I do feel that even if I wasn't into the movie or whether I didn't like the TV program or whatsoever, this game is actually phenomenal. It's definitely a must-play game if you had the PS3 or the 360, because this was really a cool game. Yet again, I feel the developers did a phenomenal job in bringing this game to life in form of a video game from a movie. I feel it was really exceptional.
Number 3.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the first Spider-Man I thought was cool, but I had to go with part 2 as I thought that some of the game mechanics was immensely improved, such as the jumping, the combat, and the web swinging. Trust me, this game definitely does justice to the Spider-Man franchise. Maybe I love GTA style of games too much is why I enjoyed this title so much, but it was definitely a fun game to play. It had me hooked for literally hours upon ends. Yet again, this was a must-play for fans of the movie, or let's just be real, any Spider-Man fan or comic fans whatsoever would definitely appreciate this game. If you guys own the PlayStation 2 and had Spider-Man 2, then you know how cool this game really was. I was going to place it higher up on the list, but the games above it are just exceptional.
Number 2.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader is a sequel to the fantastic Rogue Squadron on the N64, and to be real, I was gonna place a Nintendo 64 classic on the list, but I had to go with a sequel. In terms of living in the movie, this game captures the essence and possibly is one of the hottest Star Wars games that I've personally ever played to date. To be fair, there are a few Star Wars games that could have easily added to this list, but this one stands out for me and I found it hard not to include it, and it is well deserved of position number 2 on the list.
Number 1.
Yo, without stunting, I have to say this without apology, this has to be one of the hottest movie turned video games I've ever played, and maybe as a biased Rockstar fan is why I rate this game so high, but I do feel that if you've watched Warriors the movies, then you would think how great of a job the developers did with recreating such a classic movie inside of a video game. Simply put, the game is awesome and is one of the games that I was praying that would become available on the next gen consoles, even as a remake or a HD update or whatsoever. So whether it comes on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, I really appreciate this game dropping on there because it was just so fun. Anyway, please do let me know in the comments below what your favorite movie turned video games of all time is, and thanks for sitting through my top 10. We definitely tried to run through it as quickly as possible. I'd always try and definitely do these lists each and every week as I want to bring you guys some really cool content, and I also would like to do at some point bring some gameplay of some of these classics that I talk about to the channel at some point. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. Also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out, peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.